Well, in Ohio, 3 Oberlin College students were arrested after shoplifting from a bakery. In response, the bakery was denounced as racist. Now the bakery is suing Oberlin for damaging their reputation. Interesting story. Trace Gallagher has the latest on this tonight. Trace?
And Tucker, this trial could last a month with up to 100 witnesses. At issue is an incident from November 2016 where 3 black Oberlin, Ohio college students went into Gibson's bakery, tried to use a fake ID, and stole some bottles of wine. Alan Gibson, the son of the bakery's owner, confronted the students, and police say by the time they arrived, Gibson was on the ground being punched. The students initially claimed they were racially profiled, but then admitted they did use fake IDs, did steal the wine, and that there was no racism. A follow-up police investigation also found that accusations of racism were baseless. But lawyers for the bakery say that did not stop Oberlin College from, quote, declaring war on Gibson's, including a boycott and several protests involving hundreds of students chanting, "No justice, no peace." Watch.
We are here today because yesterday 3 students from the Africana community were assaulted and arrested as a result of a history of racial profiling and racial discrimination by Gibson's.
In court, the bakery also alleges that Oberlin Vice President and Dean of Students Meredith Raimondo used a bullhorn to orchestrate the protest and passed out flyers saying Gibson's was racist. Attorneys for the college say Raimondo was simply monitoring the students and serving as a liaison between them and the community. Gibson's alleges the college and Dean of Students interfered with the bakery's business relationships that go back 130 years. The college says it temporarily suspended its business with Gibson's to just quell a volatile situation. Tucker.
Amazing story. Trace, thanks very much for that.
Yep.
Bill Jacobson is a professor at Cornell Law School. He publishes the widely read blog Legal Insurrection, and he joins us tonight. Professor, thanks for coming on. So,
thank you for having me.
I just want to be absolutely clear on the facts here. The 3 students accused of committing this crime pled guilty. They admitted they did it. They admitted that there was no racism against them, and yet Oberlin College tried to crush this business because why?
Well, I think this was the worst of identity politics, that this was the day after Donald Trump's election, and that may have had something to do with it. The student body was very upset. The students, 3 black students, get arrested for shoplifting. They were, in fact, shoplifting, yet the entire Oberlin College community viewed this exclusively through a racial prism, through a racial lens. A white store owner arrests or has the police arrest 3 black students, and that really set the tone for the last 2 years. There were protests organized outside the bakery that were so aggressive, and so many people, hundreds of people, that there's been testimony at the trial that the police considered calling in the riot squad to quell the protests. And as was reported, there were also indications that college officials, if not participated in these, at least fostered them. And so what you had was the worst of identity politics, really the worst of our politics, which judges everything not based on the facts of what happened, but through a racial lens.
So basically you have the most privileged people in America, because if you're going to Oberlin, no matter what color you are, it's such a waste of money that you clearly have money to burn, attacking working-class bakery owners and calling it justice? I mean, that's what I see.
Right, and I think one of the interesting things about this case is that the bakery owners are seeking to hold the college responsible. And the college's response is, those are just the students. We have no input on what they do. But the evidence is that they might have.
Yep.
I mean, if you wind people up and you whip them into a frenzy, and that you can't just wash your hands of it. And that's really what the jury's going to have to decide.
Well, I hope you will come back. I hope you will come back, Professor, because there's really no case where I'm rooting for a side more than I am in this one. Thank you so much for your summation tonight. Well, Bill.